Hi everybody, it's John Burke, and if I look well rested, it's because I was on an incredible vacation last week in Alaska, and in the vastness of that absolutely gorgeous place, and then coming back to the northeast corner of this country, I had a thought that I think relates to exactly why, long term, the Cape May County shore markets have done well and will continue to do well, both on the sales side as well as the rental market, which is increasingly strong. And taking my family on a vacation somewhere else drove home a couple points of why exactly that has been the case and will continue to be the case. And it really is the three fundamentals of real estate: location, location, location.
Last week I was in the Inner Passage region of Alaska, basically sailing from Juneau south and then eventually north around Admiral Island. Not the full distance around. In total it was about a 250-mile journey out and then 250 miles back. But aside from the impressive beauty of the area, the other thing that absolutely fascinated me was how unpopulated it was. In the course of that 250-mile journey, after about 10 or 15 miles away from Juneau, I did not see another single house anywhere along the entire way. And this is largely true for Alaska, right? I mean, Alaska has a population of about 700,000 people spread out among an area that's larger than the three next biggest states in the Union. New Jersey is on the opposite end of the spectrum. It's one of the smaller states in the Union and actually has a pretty decent-sized population at something over 9 million people, making it by far the most densely populated state. But let's spread out a little bit further. There was a fun fact that was really important until about 2 decades ago when a number of states began to legalize gambling in their own forms, that the reason Atlantic City, despite not necessarily offering the sort of tourist amenities that you'll find in a place like Las Vegas, was able to do so well for so long was related to the fact that something like 1/3 of the U.S. population, a full 1 in 3 people who call themselves Americans, live within a 6-hour drive. Well, I didn't feel like calculating out exactly that far, but if I take just the number of states that you can reach from Cape May County within 3 hours, and I add up the populations of those states, you'll find that almost 20% of the population of the United States lives in a state that is 3 hours or less away from Cape May County. So are Cape May County's beaches as nice as the Caribbean, Aruba, the Mediterranean? I don't know. I'm not sure so much it matters. When the real estate run-up occurred recently, every once in a while somebody would point out to me, I could buy a much bigger house if I were looking in the Outer Banks. And it's true. I've looked. You can get a much bigger house for the amount of money you'll spend in these towns here if you look in the Outer Banks. The same thing is also true if you want to rent a house. Rental rates have gone up a lot in the last few years, and people have often said, I can get a much bigger house in the Outer Banks. But the thing is, if you're going to own a vacation home, do you really want a vacation home that you have to drive 10 or 12 hours to get to? The reason the New Jersey Shore has prospered so much is because people from the DC area, obviously the Philadelphia area, and increasingly more and more the New York metropolitan area like having shore homes that they can get to weekend after weekend with a relatively short drive. And I can tell you this because I just brought my family on a vacation. As much as the rates have gone up, and it is unfortunate, I definitely feel for families as everything becomes more expensive right now, that loading your whole family onto an airplane or going to Disney World has certainly gotten a lot more expensive too. And the fact of the matter is, coming to the Jersey Shore still represents a great value. You're in a house, you're not going to restaurants for every single meal, and you're putting a lot of people in a lot of bedrooms. And it's a great place for a family vacation. People after people have the memories and the tradition that goes along here. So it's location, location, location. That's what it boils down to. And it is a reason that, despite the fact that there might be some ups and some downs over time with absolutely anything, that in the very, very long term, these communities have done very, very well as real estate, and it seems like they will continue to do very, very well. Even in the huge economic downturn of 2008, homes still rented really, really well at the shore because honestly, we're one of the best values out there for vacation. So Just a thought that I wanted to share with everybody. It's a very obvious thought. Sometimes the most obvious thoughts don't occur to people. And if you have any comments or you want to talk about this, as always, we are always here at Burke Co. We are a better real estate experience and buying, selling, renting. We're always here to help. Thanks.